Hey y'all, it is February 18th, 25. And today I wanted to just come on and share some anxiety that I'm going through because certain things are about to take place in my life. For instance, I have court tomorrow. And this is my fourth court appearance. And while it's not a super serious charge, it's still very, it's still like a scary freaking process, bro, because it's so confusing the way that they name certain court dates, but they don't really do what the name of the court date is. Like, for instance, this is like my second or third one that's called jury trial, right? But we have yet to actually even get to the point to where there's a jury trial. And then I just sent my my lawyer an email and asked what was going to happen tomorrow. Not just, I sent it last week, and she responded and she said she wasn't sure. So, like, that kind of made me a little bit anxious. And I know they do this every day, and it's not their futures or their lives that are on the line. And to them, it's not a big thing. It's kind of like any job. Once you start doing it every day, in and out, I think even sometimes if you do have a really big passion for it, sometimes it just becomes monotonous. And you kind of forget, to someone who doesn't work in the industry, what a traumatic event could have taken place. And not just like in the legal system, but just like in a lot of different things. So that's what I said my daily vlogs were going to be. Something that I was dealing with in that day that I could come on and share and try to, just offer my experience and my thoughts and see if anybody was going through the same thing. So I'm not freaking out too much. I'm trying to stay positive, and I'm trying to stay believing that the truth will prevail. And I'm trying to stay believing that everything's going to be great, okay? But I'm still a little nervous, to be honest. And I'm trying not to allow the anxiety of whatever's going to happen tomorrow affect today. And just like, there's nothing I can do about it, for real. At this point, I've done everything I can possibly do up to this point. So I just have to keep believing that everything that I'm doing is going to work. Because if I quit now, then everything I've done for the last October, November, December, January, February, 4 or 5 months will be for nothing. And y'all know I struggle with standing up for myself. I've said this in a couple of my other videos. I have been a doormat. I've been a people pleaser. I've been a avoid the confrontation, just stay silent, and, it's not that big of a deal. But, the whole reason I'm here in this situation is because I'm standing up for myself for an unwarranted charge. That's the whole reason. This is my fourth court date now. And I can't explain the whole story yet. I've told you that before, just because it's still active and going on. But if anybody else out there has court tomorrow for anything at all, you're not alone. Okay? You're not alone. And it is kind of a scary process, especially depending upon what you're facing, what penalty you're facing. whether you did whatever they said you did or not, you know. Oh gosh. That's you, babe? Okay. Jesus. Onyx, why you bark like that? You scared the crap out of me. I know he usually doesn't bark for you though. You alright?
Yeah,
I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I needed to talk to him for a moment. And that's another thing. My partner had a doctor's appointment this morning. And not for anything serious, kind of just like a routine checkup. Well, I guess it is for something serious. He was in a car wreck several years ago. Driving through downtown Columbus, somebody T-boned right into the side of him. And he had a traumatic brain injury from that car wreck. And he has a metal plate that goes around the entire side of his skull right here. Like, he has a gnarly scar, dude. He has really long hair now, but when I first met him, his hair was really short. And you are so nosy. I just left you in there asleep. You were knocked out asleep. You want to come say hi? Come here. Come here. Say hi, guys. Here, you gotta look down a little bit. You gotta look down here. Look in the phone. You see it? No, I don't think you're looking in the right spot. Look down there in the phone. Okay, you're happy. You gotta go. Okay, anyway, so he has this really awesome scar that goes like all the way around the side of his head right here. And they basically cut his scalp open and pulled it back, took the broken bones out and replaced it with a metal plate. However, so all that to say, he was just going for like a routine checkup with his neurologist to make sure that, you know, he hasn't had any episodes. Oh, from this traumatic brain injury, TBI they call it, he was diagnosed with epilepsy. So gratefully, he hasn't had any serious episodes recently, but he just goes every several months to check up. However, one of the things that he asked the doctor today when he was there was what type of metal was in his head. And this was actually not even with the doctor's, what do they call it? The physician's assistant. This was with the actual neurologist that I believe performed the surgery, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he didn't perform the surgery, but he's the one he's been going to, the main doctor. Okay? And he couldn't tell him what type of metal they put in his head. And I just thought that was weird. So that's just something else. And then I had some insecurities about that because I didn't go with him to the doctor's appointment. And I communicated with him beforehand, like, you know, do you want me there? If you want me there, I'll definitely go with you. And he said, no, it's fine. It's just a checkup. You know, it's all good. So I didn't go. But then when he got there, he was going through some BS where he went to the office, but then they sent him all the way back downstairs. And this is in OSU hospital. So it's not just like a doctor's office. He go all the way back downstairs to get like a wristband, to go up, to show that he was there for an appointment. Like, so it's just like all these little things. And then I guess to say that, like, I felt bad that I didn't go with him because maybe that wouldn't happen if I was there, even though we both communicated with each other and we were both fine with him going alone. You know, so I'm just trying to make sure, try to keep those feelings in check and not let them bring me down. And I guess something I thought about when I was just out speaking with him is that I don't want this to seem like I'm coming here complaining about everything that I'm dealing with today, by any means. So I hope that I haven't come off like that. However, Wander X Society, go check him out. I've shouted him out before. In one of his recent videos, he taught me that it can be productive to come on and talk about things that you're dealing with in your life. And it can be helpful to other people to relate to them and to get advice from them or suggestions, or just let other people know that they're not alone, you know? And and basically he helped me realize when I watched his video, I forget what it's called, Wander X Society. I'll shout him out down in the description or in the comments, but I think he called it a rant. Because then I was watching one of his lives later and he was talking about that video. And I'm like, yeah, but even in your rants, like, you can tell that you're growing your mind. You can tell that you are trying to be productive and work through these things. Even if it's a negative situation, you know, or even if you're not happy and bubbly and in the greatest mood. And so I thought about that because I do want to bring positivity and happiness and love. But at the same time, I want to bring truth and my authentic self. And the whole thing about these daily vlogs was something I'm dealing with, is to be honest with you and not sugarcoat my brain or my thoughts or make everything seem great, but more so try to look for resolutions and ways to deal with these things. And sometimes I've found that just like talking something out helps you make your own decisions and helps you actually form your own opinions sometimes. So I guess all that to say that, you know, while I do want to live in abundance and focus on positive, I also want to be very honest and let you know what I'm going through, because I do think that I can help. What I don't want to do is come on here and complain and share just only negativity or you know, just create drama or just, you know, talk about things that have no value, if you will, okay? So please don't take it like that. And if I sound like that, let me know. Comment, honestly, let me know. And I will check myself before I wreck myself. But anyway, shout out to Wander X Society for helping me realize that I can still bring my honest truth of what I'm dealing with in a, you know, in a productive way. And that I don't have to hide the BS and the negative things that go on in my life from you all, you know, because that's life. that is life. And I think by sharing that, maybe I can help some other people get through things. So, yeah. Dang, I had some other ideas I was going to write down, but apparently I didn't. So, I don't know. How else shall I approach this? I'm just really trying to keep my brain in check so that I don't drag myself down into a mental state to where when I do go to court in the morning, I am not having a positive mindset. Oh, yeah, that was one of the things. But I do think that it's very important to prepare myself or yourself for any outcome. Any outcome. Don't obsess over it and don't expect it to happen. But prepare for the worst and pray for the best, you know? There's another little cliche that has so much meaning and so many levels of understanding. But seriously, and I've realized recently that preparing my mind for the worst situation to happen doesn't necessarily mean, and I have to be aware and make sure that I don't think about it so much that that's what I'm expecting to happen, or that's what I'm actually manifesting to happen just because I'm preparing my mind. Those are different things, okay? I'm manifesting that the truth will prevail and everything will be great, okay? But I know that that doesn't always happen. So I have to prepare my mind, but that doesn't mean to believe that the worst situation is going to happen, just because a lot of times it does. But by preparing my mind for an outcome that I'm not expecting, that helps me prep myself to deal with whatever outcome may happen, okay? And then look for another resolution after that. And even though I know all that, I'm still slightly jittery. I don't know if you can tell, but I feel like my heart's beating a little bit faster, and I feel like I'm not like shaking or trembling even. It's just like this little, like, my vibration is off. That's exactly what it is. My vibration is just a little bit off, and I can feel it through my whole body, through my hands, through my chest, everything. And, you know, that reminds me, like, at one point, I didn't know that that feeling was anxiety. I didn't know that that was me being nervous. I didn't know that that was my nervous system communicating with me. And I guess I just like to share that. When you get these weird physical little sensations in your body, it's not because something's wrong with you. That's your spirit. That's your innate self. That's your higher self. That's you communicating with you. And I just have to remember that I can control that, and that there's a lesson there to be learned. There's no reason to worry over things I can't control. But it takes practice. And even right now, it's very hard. This reminds me of something my therapist said. He said, I'm paraphrasing because it's been a while, maybe about a year or so. But in one of my sessions, he said, one of my therapists, my favorite one. I had to go through several before I found one that, was here with me. Oh gosh, I think I scared a couple. But anyway, it's a story for another day. But anyway, he said, you can be positive all you want, but shitty stuff is still going to happen. But that doesn't make it a messed up day or a messed up life. And basically, oh my gosh,